So last year when the Soundcore Motion X600 came out, I was very impressed by just how open the speaker sounded thanks to its upward firing driver. And in general, the Motion X600 is a great speaker for at-home use. But if you're looking for something to take on the go with you this summer 2024, then maybe you'll be interested in the new Soundcore Boom 2. So if you're trying to choose between either of these two speakers, let's see which one is right for you.
Regarding pricing, the Soundcore Motion X600 has a retail price of $200, but it does like to go on sale for $180. But then there's the Soundcore Boom 2, which has a retail price of $130, and in general, I feel that you get a lot of bang for your buck because of how loud the speaker gets relative to its price. Nonetheless, if you're going to pick this speaker up, it'll be linked down below, or you can always press on the YouTube shopping button. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a Big Head approved hat, link down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button, and let's get subscribed. Now first, there's the design of these two speakers. Size-wise, these speakers are very similar to one another and they have the same surface area and the same footprint. In general, these two speakers are about the same size as either the JBL Extreme 3 or Sony XG300. But what's really different here are their materials. The Motion X600 has a mostly metal body, which I feel looks very elegant. But personally, I would hate to take this speaker on the go with me because I would hate to scratch this body up, whereas the Boom 2 has a mostly plastic body, but it still has a metal faceplate on the front, so the plastic body on the Boom 2 is going to collect a lot more scratches than the X600, but given the Boom 2's price, I don't mind as much. Now, both the Boom 2 and X600 are very water resistant, but the main difference here is that the Boom 2 also floats, making this speaker a lot more pool or even boat friendly. Overall, you can take both of these speakers on the go with you, but I feel the Boom 2 is much better designed to be used while at the beach or park. But something the Boom 2 does have over the Motion X600 is that it has a built-in light feature in the passive radiators, and this light feature is fairly dynamic and bright. Personally, I like this light feature.
But just keep in mind, if you do decide to use this light feature, that is going to take its toll on the battery life. Now, when it comes to battery life, the Boom 2 has an advertised battery life of 24 hours. But this advertised battery life of 24 hours is with this speaker playing at 50% volume, and with the light feature turned off, and with the bass up feature turned off as well. Real-world use with the speaker playing at 80% volume and with the light feature turned on and with the bass up feature turned on is going to be good for around 6 hours of playback time, which is not bad. However, you can always extend the battery life of this speaker by using it with its light feature and or bass up feature turned off. But then there's the Motion X600, which has an advertised battery life of 12 hours, but real-world use with the speaker playing at 80% volume and with its spatial audio turned on and with its bass up feature turned on is going to be good for around 8 hours of playback time. So yes, the Boom 2 can have a longer battery life than the X600, but you also have to turn off the fun features. But when it comes to charging these two speakers, they both charge via a USB-C port as they should. But the additional ports on these two speakers are a little different. Now, the Boom 2 has a USB-A out port so that you can charge your own devices, whereas the Motion X600 doesn't. Now, I think it's great and all that the Boom 2 has this USB-A out port, but I don't think that many people are going to be using this port because most phones these days just come included with USB-C to USB-C charging cables. But then there's the Motion X600, which has an audio jack, whereas the Boom 2 doesn't. So you can't use the Boom 2 with a wired connection, which could be important depending on your setup. But when it comes to wireless connectivity, both of these speakers can be connected to two devices at the same time so that you and a friend can both be DJ. Latency is not an issue for either of these two speakers, so you can use them to watch videos with on your phone. But when it comes to audio codecs, the Boom 2 only has support for SBC, whereas the Motion X600 has support for SBC, AAC, and LDAC.
But with all that out of the way, let's talk about sound. Regarding speaker setup, the Boom 2 has a single front-mount firing woofer with a dual front-mount firing tweeters and a dual passive radiators that shoot out the sides. And this is a fairly unique speaker setup. But then there's the X600, which has a dual front-mount firing woofers, dual front-mount firing tweeters, and dual passive radiators that shoot out the front and back of the speaker. But what makes the X600 really unique here is that it has an upward firing driver, which really helps the speaker sound a lot more open when you turn on spatial audio. But now we're going to jump into the sound test. Both of these speakers are playing at 87% volume, and they're both running their signature EQs, and bass up is turned on both of these speakers.
Left brain. Don't say we can't, oh, just don't say another word. These thoughts you've imagined aren't real, aren't adding up. You fetched your ideas from nowhere, out from another world. Your logic's impaired, your full picture is cropped. Cause we both know one day they're just gonna try again. Without doubt, might say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end. You're so far off, oh, it's like you can't see it. These feelings you've caught don't make sense. Your plan's gonna flop. You keep raising doubts without cause. All you feel is dread. My logic is fair. If it's pain, it's ever gonna stop. Cause we both know that one day he's not gonna cry again. Without doubt, might say if all's gonna mend. We both know that one day the sun's gonna rise again. So don't pout for our sake, cause this ain't the end.
So these two speakers sound and perform very differently from one another. With the Motion X600, this speaker has better instrument separation and it sounds more open than the Boom 2 thanks to the additional upward firing driver, but also it has dual frontward firing woofers instead of having just one frontward firing subwoofer like the Boom 2. However, the Boom 2 does get louder than the X600 and it also has more bass than the X600, but the mids aren't as well defined. Overall, I think the X600 is a great at-home speaker because it does have that better instrument separation, but if you're looking for a speaker to use outdoors, then you might want to go with the Boom 2 because it gets louder and it has more bass, and I think loudness and bass is more important for an outside speaker rather than detail and separation.
But finally, let's talk about pairing these two speakers up to other speakers. Now, with both of these speakers, if you have two of these same speakers, you can wisely pair them up and get them to play in left and right stereo mode. So one speaker is going to be your left channel and your other speaker is going to be your right channel. However, with the Boom 2, I can't help but feel that one speaker is a few milliseconds behind, so there is a very slight echo going on, but it's good enough to get the job done, especially for outdoor use. But unfortunately, you cannot pair a Motion X600 with a Boom 2 like I have here. And you can't pair your X600 with any other speakers from Soundcore. However, the Boom 2 also has Partycast 2.0, so you can pair it up to other Soundcore speakers that also have Partycast 2.0 and get them to play in sync. But sadly, Soundcore's Motion family of speakers don't have Partycast.
But with all that being said, both of Soundcore speakers are very impressive and they give you a really big bang for your buck. But if you're trying to choose between the Boom 2 and X600, the Boom 2 is a great party speaker to use on the go with you. It's fairly durable and very water resistant. It also has an impressive looking light feature, but more importantly, when it comes to sound, this speaker gets louder than the Motion X600 and it has more bass, which I feel matters more for an outdoor speaker. And if you really need to, you can extend its battery by using it with its light feature and or bass up feature turned off. And then there's the Motion X600, which I also think is a good speaker, but I feel this one is better off to be mostly used while at home. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.